everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. You've heard me tail off these things many times, but please follow us at Battle Rap Resume. We've got the Patreon, patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume. Episodes like this would have been on the Patreon first. Pretty much everything that goes on the channel is on the Patreon first. So if you want to get access to those stuff, bonus stuff as well, you want to help out the show, go onto the Patreon, help to donate to us there. Get in touch with us, battlerapresume@gmail.com. You can email us long form there. You can of course comment on the videos. Please subscribe, please leave the review on iTunes, go onto the Redbubble, all that good stuff. But yeah, we've got a brand new series today kicking off that just kind of hit my head about a week ago or so, and you know, no person other than Crafty really to kick it off. Craft, how's it going, man?
Hey man, yeah, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm well. I mean, we're in just before we get into the show itself.
I've just watched 4 battles in a row, by the way, so I'm tired. No, I'm joking.
We'll get into the constant in a second, but I mean, the landscape. I'm trying to think. The last time we spoke, was it maybe that the top 10 title holder contenders, maybe?
That feels about right. Well,
yeah.
Feels a while ago, but probably the last time. Yeah, for how things have changed.
Jesus Christ, I know. Yeah, we were looking forward to like a bountiful exchange of kind of, you know, the big names, and now it's kind of done. Like as an established name in Don't Flop, what's your view generally on the situation?
My view on the situation, I can't be too public about things I don't know the full details of. I probably know a lot and more than most people, but I still wouldn't say I have sufficient evidence to go, yo, this is exactly how things are going down and what's happening. All I will say is it's just a bit of a shame that content's not really coming out. So I hope everyone can kind of, settle things and make peace, and the fans around the world really will be able to see Crafty versus Frankie Fraser, because
that's the thing.
People all over the globe are just sitting waiting really, and losing sleep.
No, there are riots in Bolivia at the moment. They can't wait.
Exactly.
They need to hear Fraser's Maltese. But
exactly.
I mean, is that in all seriousness though? It must be quite frustrating. You put all this time and effort into something, and you don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah, it's weird, and I think it's one of my best battles, and I'd say it was Frankie's best performance and up there for me. So it's like, yeah, I wanted people to see that, but it will see the light of day at some point. If it doesn't, maybe, I don't know if you saw Bobby Rex uploaded his battle onto Facebook.
I did see that. Yeah, that's some guerrilla shit, that is. Great.
Yeah, that's just Bobby all over though, isn't it, really?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if it went on for like, I mean, I'm a bit softer than Bobby, so maybe if it went on for quite a year, maybe I'll do that. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully it will get cleared up, and of course, I think the pay-per-view is still available for Check 4. So people can go out there and help support the league and get access to these battles. But today is a new concept, as I said. It came from Versetracker, and one of the things that's kind of dawned on me going through this show is how many fucking battles there are. There's literally probably about 1,000 battles uploaded a month from all these leagues all over the country, like all over the world, I should say.
There's so many leagues as well.
Oh my god, yeah, and
which is really cool when you think about it, because there's so many like local communities who have access to a local battle league, who don't live in London or New York or whatever, so it's quite cool. I don't really check a lot of them out, mainly because I don't really there's not enough hours in the day to watch 4 battles a day, so I'll watch a couple a week probably, and they'll usually be Don't Flop or King of the Dot, or another league if it's somebody that I know or something's been suggested to me by somebody. So yeah, it was interesting just to watch, I guess, 4 different leagues, and they all had a little different environment and crowd and vibe. So it's pretty cool, but there are a lot of fucking battles.
There are, and so for the sake of this, what we're doing with this episode, I should say, is we're going to take a certain day. So in this case, me and Kraft are already agreed on. It was the 17th of July. We're recording this about a week later or so, and I just screenshotted the top 4 battles that are uploaded on Versetracker, the 4 most recent battles that are uploaded. They're pretty much all American battles. I think there's obviously a Canadian one in there as well. There's some names you'll know. There's a lot of people that, I wasn't aware of. I'm sure many other people. And we're just going to go through the battle and review them, because like you say, you either stick to your leagues if you're watching them, or it's a recommendation. You rarely jump into just the random portal. Whereas with music, for example, it's a bit different for me. Like, I will happily just listen to a random album that maybe I don't even know about, you know what I mean? Just kind of, I've got an inkling or the album cover or something, but I won't just click on a random battle if I don't know who's involved. Because it's a risk ultimately.
Yeah, it's true. You can either completely waste 20 minutes of your day, or hit a gold mine and find like your new favorite rapper. And maybe that's part of the fun of it, you know. But I think music is more sort of easy to just listen to, pick up on, whereas a new league, you often need like context to understand everything that's going on. You know, if I hit a new league, I don't know who the host is, I don't know who, kind of like probably the first time I ever watched the Don't Flop battle. I was like, this is interesting, who's the host? I wouldn't know who her is. I was like, you wouldn't know he's a battler himself. And there's a lot of little things you don't actually get. So maybe if you do find a league you like, you can sort of start learning more. And I remember when I researched XQZ, I'd watched a little bit of No Coast, but not a lot. And I sort of watched like 3 or 4 of his different battles for researching the battle. He had quite a lot, so I didn't really watch more than that. But as I started noticing the same faces, like the hosts, and like remembering what the host's name is, the next battle, and you know, just seeing different people in the crowd who I'd seen maybe XQZ battle who were just there. So there's just a lot of context, and it gives a battle a different vibe, because you can see, oh, that's a battler from the league reacting to that bar, for example. So there's little things you can pick up on.
Yeah, no, completely. I mean, it's kind of like in prep for the new season of Game of Thrones. Me and my girlfriend went back and rewatched it all, and there's
wow,
you know,
all
just
of it.
The whole thing.
I watched like the last episode of the last season just to get myself in the mood again.
I was just watching it for Melisandre's breasts mostly, but you know, they frequently occur. But no, and it's just like there were lots of references to things similar to Battle Rap that were just like, oh, okay, this is Jon Snow's, you know, it's his mother underground or whatever, and battles that they reference and family members, and you know, it is the same with battling. But the beauty
that's a good point. It can be like tuning into a season 7 series sometimes. That's true.
Yeah, completely. And I get the leagues of the families, I suppose, and I mean at the moment they are warring to a certain extent. But Briggsy is Tyrion. But no, we'll get into the
Briggsy's the White Walkers, man. He's the one that's going to kill them all, and they will just fight over each other. But Briggsy's going to come in and just take out the whole lot of them.
God, I want to stab Briggsy with some
glass.
dragon
It's going to take a lot of fire to stop him.
I got some fire in the chamber. Don't worry about that. We will. So a lot of these battles though are completely contextless. As the first one is, this is KD versus Cut Eastwood.
Nigga, you gotta rap with me. What? Nigga, you gotta rap with me, or it's a rap with me when you face the facts. Did y'all get that last one? So if you can tell a vision, this won't be remotely close without that battery in your back. And that's whack. I've been that nigga. I was locked because I was frying ops like a chicken dinner. Popping that revolver, the barrel rotating like a fidget spinner. I say, look me in my eyes, nigga. I'm the captain now. Watch how I back him down. 40 pack of rounds. I want this whole kill my peers to clap at me like I'm rocking a cap and gown. But y'all know.
On Guerrilla Warfare, which I believe is in Chicago. This is the first
this isn't a small league, is it? This is like, in terms of the small leagues, this is one of the bigger, lesser leagues.
This is it's a big league.
It's not like King of the Don't Flop URL, but after that bracket, it's probably in the next few.
It's in that RBE sort of trap house tier for sure.
Dub sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I've watched a few. I think I've watched some Guerrilla Warfare stuff before.
Yeah, they did a few events a few years ago. They really put money into it. They had like Clips versus JC and stuff. They had quite a lot of big battles there. But I remember it was kind of lame because they kind of Britney Spears the battles, where every battler had like their own like head mic. It looked really bad.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's just like, I wouldn't want to see that craft, you know, if you were going toe-to-toe with, I don't know, Quill or something, if you were both rocking those, you know, those little kind of Christina Aguilera headpieces, it would rob the bars.
Yeah, that's true.
Quill
could have some on his, like, hips or something. Yeah. He puts his hands on his hips a lot.
Oh, man, you versus Quill, when is that happening?
Whenever Quill stops ducking. No, I'm joking,
Right.
He's not ducking now. That's a lie. Whenever it happens, man, I'm down to battle Quill. Okay. I don't know when's the next Don't Flop event at the moment. Now I'm just stirring the pot. That's really not a good thing to do.
No.
I'm sure it will happen in the future on Don't Flop. When the league's back and kicking and thriving again, which it will be.
I mean, we need to get to these battles, but hypothetically, if Dub Scandal offered money for you and Quill to go down, would you refuse wanting it to be on Don't Flop, or would you just do it?
No, I'd probably do it. you know, the terms have to be kind of different depending on different leagues. But yeah, I think Quill costs a lot more than me, so it's probably more the Quill side, to be honest. Yeah.
So we'll get to this battle, which is, you know, it's an okay battle. It's a one rounder, you know, shot in the kind of atmospheric black and white, and you know, there's kind of a lot of people on stage. You get a shot of the crowd here and there, and there's not too many people. I mean,
they put the math punch in the intro.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is it's kind of just battle rap, the world of battle rap, isn't it? So it's just kind of all these classic moments for some reason. Yeah,
it's like the WWE intro.
Yeah,
where it's like you get the Hulkamania is running wild and all the classic quotes at the start of the show. Maybe they were trying to do that, but they also had like, you know, the music video intro, which is quite a classic old school kind of. UK doesn't really do it anymore, but they used to. But like with all the sponsors and like the video intros, but it does get the feel of like an old school classic type battle vibe multis, and like the opening song, I noticed had some like really good lyrics. It was incredible. It was like the hook was like, "I don't fuck your bitch, she ain't sucking no dick." It's quite an enjoyable song.
Damn.
I might go and check out more of their music. Actually, the guy in that video ended up, I noticed later, was standing behind Cut Eastwood. So there you go, a bit of context.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
And
might be a battle I've just not seen.
Maybe. I just, you know, both of these guys, I mean, this has got, you know, 2,700 views at the moment, so I'm guessing both of these guys aren't really big hitters. It's a one-rounder. KD kicks us off. Fair to say, quite the grating voice.
Yeah, I enjoyed Cut Eastwood's delivery
a
lot more than KD, and I did feel like it wasn't a bad battle and it wasn't a good battle. It was quite, I watched it, I enjoyed it to an extent, but... disclaimer for all these battles, by the way, I don't get a lot of American references. Sure. So when it's American TV, American sports and stuff, like, I mean, Soul would get all of it.
Yeah.
But, like, don't hate me in the comments of this video for being, like, ignorant of really good bars. I probably just didn't get them. That's my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I mean, you say really good bars. I mean, KD... he was such a kind of typical battle rapper in the way he wrote his bars. Like, very, like, short schemes, this shit get out of control, pushing buttons, battery in your back. It's like, I often wonder when people are putting these things together, do they not kind of look at it and just think, God, this has been said so many times? Yeah,
I got the kind of same feeling of played out bars. It's like, and the remote control scheme, which seemed to go on for about 8 bars.
It did.
And it's just you're just talking about a remote control.
Yeah.
Like when you take the context of the battle out of it.
It's very direct.
He had a lot of stuff that he was trying to be direct, like a lot of indirects, but like he had some cut wordplay, but a lot of it I didn't think was that good. I think I quite liked something about if you think that cut ahead, let me pick your brains.
Yeah.
That was quite nice.
The neurosurgeon. Yeah, that was quite nice.
Yeah. But yeah, and cut himself was doing a lot of jazz hands and maybe should I say poetry clicks during KD's rounds, which was really weird. It's maybe like his trademark in the way that Big K will kick the air. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll start doing jazz hands when he's not feeling his opponent. I don't know what he's trying to suggest with that, but it's just an interesting.
I thought it was money. Like, you know, when people scratch their fingers together to suggest, like, making money, but maybe it could be that.
Oh, okay, maybe. He was definitely clicking his fingers like it was a poetry slam.
Right.
So, obviously, my background, I know a lot about that. So.
Somewhere, Anthony Anagutsru, I can't say surname, he's smiling. Anaxaguru is smiling. Just a lot of cut stuff, again, with the scheming, hospital socks, sole purpose is walking with that grip. It's just, like, it works, but it's not that fun, like...
Yeah, I think the standard... Now, that sounds really rude. But I'm like, maybe the standard's just lower. I'm not that standard, the expectation level. So maybe like a crowd coming into a certain league just isn't... I don't know. I can't explain it because people sometimes, I feel like, aren't pushing themselves. And like, I do agree, like, I think some things... Even if you haven't watched a battle where the bar was said, you sort of intuitively know it's probably been said. Mm-hmm. If it's like... Because he had some good material, some like nice bars, and there was a lot of, like I say, a lot of reference points. But the stuff I liked was just the really raw stuff, which I often like, where it's not a reference, it's not something you have to have watched something to get. Mm-hmm. It was just like he said something like, "I can make it to the hip faster than you can make it to the whip." And it was like really raw and like the energy of it. A good bar. I mean, it's when you break it down and really think about it, it's not that impressive. He's saying he can get to his gun on his hip faster than he can run to his car, which I'd expect him to be able to do.
Yep.
But it's still like quite a nice. But it's sort of like the gun bar thing in general. Like Koj did one, which is amazing. One of my favorite gun bars. Judging the voice, I'll let it sing when the back's turned. But realistically, he's just said, I'd shoot you in the back when you're not looking, which isn't that impressive. But so sometimes it's like
cowardly almost, Koj.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, Koj, you're a coward, mate. But yeah, I did like the energy of it. Just I can make it to the hip faster than you can make it to the whip. It's quite creative, and he had a lot of stuff that was kind of like that. And yeah, it got to like 3 minutes in, and I was like, okay, this is a 1-rounder, obviously, which it was. Yeah. Which again, like, did Don't Flop start the 1-rounder thing, or am I wrong there? Because that wasn't. I remember when they started doing them, and like, other leagues have sort of done them more. And I like them sometimes. It means you can just spaz out and rap for like 6 minutes, which is nice, especially if you're more of a sort of raptor style battler where it's enjoyable to watch somebody rap.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if Don't Flop started the 1 round. Maybe. I can't be sure. Please comment below and let us know. But yeah, I mean, KD stuff is okay. I quite like, I don't know if you catch that, someone in the crowd goes, "Damn, you watch a lot of movies."
Yeah, oh my god, that's an incredible ad-lib. That's one of my favourites. I must have been like the fifth film he referenced. It was like, it wasn't even like, it was maybe 2 seconds after the bar. So it was so disrespectful. Like, hadn't really reacted. He's like, "Oh, you watch a lot of movies."
and yeah, Cut Eastwood, I think, clearly wins. I think he's a bit more disciplined with it. And I get what you're saying as well, like the whip hip stuff. Like him just saying the barrel rotating like a fidget spinner. Like, it's just the visual, which, again, it's like, I know there's so many fidget spinners bars, but it's just, and, I mean, Danny Jack weirdly popped in my head watching this battle, because I remember against Jay Dillon, he did a Rugrats gun bars scheme, and, and Cut Eastwood has a Tommy brother Dill Pickles kind of thing. So.
Didn't say the Tommy spit in your face, like Dill Pickles or something.
Something like that.
I don't know that, I've not watched the Rugrats in years.
Right.
So I can't remember the exact.
No, me neither.
But yeah, I remember Dill and Lil and was it Lil and Phil or Dill or Phil?
Phil and Lil, Chucky, Angelica, Reptar.
Oh, he said Dill though. I'm sure he said Dill. I just said dildo accidentally as well. I'm sure some of the comments will pick up on that.
Kraft, if the comments don't worry, man. They're all good.
What? No, I like doing this, man. I like preempting what people are gonna say. But is it Phil or Lil? Or Bill?
No. So Phil and Lil are the twins, and Dill was introduced later on as Tommy's younger brother in the first movie.
Yeah.
So
that's the one. You know, we all enjoy the throwback bars to our childhood. Any battle in any league and any MC can hit us with those, and we'll appreciate them. The same. I also thought Cut Eastwood just had the crowd, like he worked the crowd better. Yeah. So I thought they both had a very similar approach and were trying to do the same thing, but I guess he just had more tone changes, more like performative styles and techniques. He was just doing different things, whereas KD was more of a static. But I really liked when Cut Eastwood did it was really creative, where he did the sort of talking about his, like a lot of rappers do, it's called like talking about how your life is.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I've been through this sort of thing. Yeah. But he went, I was in the, and started mouthing the words. I was in the lot of shit I can't talk about.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
That got a big reaction, and like that was just creative.
That was hard.
Yeah. Really good. You like that?
If Shocks did that would go off. Like that's really inventive.
It's how you sell it, and just thinking of creative ways to make that point. Like you say, people like Shocks good at doing that. You can talk about the same theme like every battle, but if you can find new ways to like things like that, like not actually saying the words physically, and then that being mirrored in the content that you're saying, like a lot of shit I can't talk about, and then physically not actually talking. It's a cool thing. But I agree with you. I think Cut Eastwood like edged it. I wouldn't say it was like clearly the way, but just Cut Eastwood for me just had a bit. He probably said less, but like word count wise, but said a bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a bit more direct. Some of his stuff I didn't really like I need an animal in the target, like the logo of Echo. I was just like that like kind of like conviction and like that kind of payoff was quite weak. But I don't actually
know the brand. I've not seen it, but I can imagine it's a logo where there's a target with an animal in it.
I think it's a rhino. I think you would definitely recognise it if you saw it. It's kind of classic.
I think I might have showed a lot of skill to work that one out.
It's classic like 2008 chavware. So I think you can probably imagine that in your head there. But altogether, we could have picked upon worse battles. I thought this was quite decent.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I do think Cut Eastwood won. I think like it's kind of, the major thing in America, really, and especially with, like, guerrilla warfare and the trap, is URL. Oh, get that PG sort of thing. I honestly think if either of these guys went for a PG, they'd probably get washed by higher talent, though.
Yeah, you're probably not quite at that level yet, but they both had a good energy and good performance. So, yeah.
And, I mean, it's always good to just sort of expand your knowledge. Oh, actually, okay, this is interesting. I'm just on KD's Versetracker. He actually had a PG.
Okay.
Yeah, against Maniac. I've never actually seen that. He's been battling for years. His first battle came out in 2012, so he's been around for quite a while now.
A lot of people are, and it's funny because I'm someone who come into it later than others, maybe like 2011. I wasn't watching it like right in time sort of thing, and then my interest sort of fluctuated. But I often don't know. I watch someone and be like, "Oh, this new guy's good," and then someone will be like, "Yeah, he's actually been battling for 6 years, mate." Yeah. And I just didn't know. So it's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of battlers with a lot of histories and a lot of leagues and done a lot.
Oh yeah,
and pay homage.
That brings us to our next battle because Mosh Shelton, his first battle came out in April 2008. So
and he's a guy, like, when you sent me this battle, I've watched. He's got a lot of battles. I've watched definitely 2 Mosh Shelton battles. I've definitely watched a Don't Flop one against Troy Brown. And I definitely watched him in a no-cost battle, and I liked him both times.
Yeah.
Before even watching this. So, interestingly enough, he's on Versetracker, because I went to look him up. He's the 14th most battles.
Wow. Holy shit.
On Versetracker, after Bowski. Right after Bowski. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Interestingly, who do you think are the top 3, like...
Top 3?
Most battlers, just the most battles done on Versetracker. So it might not be the actual count, but just on Versetracker.
Yeah. Well, Saurus has got to be up there.
Yeah, Saurus number 1.
Saurus number 1, yeah. Oh god, who else would be up there? I'm trying to think of like the old Diz. Maybe he's been pretty consistent.
Maybe off camera, but not on Versetracker.
Not on Versetracker, no. Yeah. Is it? No, it's O'Shea, surely.
O'Shea second.
Yeah, O'Shea, and is it?
I looked at these like an hour ago.
Who? Sorry.
So I looked at these just like an hour ago.
Oh right. Yeah. Who's number 3?
The third one's DNA.
Oh yeah, of course DNA. Yeah, of course DNA.
But I reckon Osh has a lot more than Versetracker says he has.
Yeah.
I reckon he's battled like nearly as many times as, and I reckon Saurus has a lot more as well. So
I think Saurus might actually have less because like they're putting like his WRC battle, but it's 3 uploads for 1 battle. It's like, does that count?
Oh, really?
Yeah. They kind of split it
into a lot because Saurus. Like I was listening to your Saurus episode where he's talking about like battling in like 2000. Yeah, and like they're none of them are filmed. So like
no. That's crazy, the thing, yeah. Crazy. I mean, he battled Topper like in like 02, 03 or something, like, before.
15-16 year rematch.
Yeah. And I mean, as we said in the episode as well, like you say, it was a massive gap. They come back. It's Battle of the Year. It's like, what? It's like
that was a crazy battle. I enjoyed it a lot.
That logic doesn't make sense. But we get to Mags versus Mosh Shelton.
You choked versus Mega in a second. Ain't got shit to do with this. I just thought that I should mention. I loosen your eyeballs with a socket wrench and then leave your body in a garbage can until I can smell a rotten stench. The gym for him, to me, makes a lot of sense because Mags belongs on the bench.
Look, it is a pocket check for pocket change. Plus stink. If I really got the thing, you could die on the spot. Can't blot the stain unless you near a surgeon like Dr. Strange. I got it.
Yeah.
Mags, I mean, he's fine. He's just a bit of a meathead, isn't he?
Yeah. He's I've kind of got. He's sort of like Pat Stay, an octave lower.
I think that's an inventive description that I concur with.
Yeah. What's the lead? Do you know much about it? Art of War 305.
I don't really know, and I mean,
this Valley TK's hosting, but he's not. He's not King Dot. Like, is he an official representative? Do they like pay him to come in the sort of sense of poetic warfare? Paying acclaimed names like Danny Jack to come host their events.
Maybe it might be a sort of a scouting thing as well that he's there because obviously he runs GZs.
Yeah, he runs GZs.
So I'm not quite sure of that, but I mean, it's kind of interesting because obviously I sent you the sort of battles to watch a little while ago. So I'm just looking at the screenshot now. It's about a week ago or so, and looking at the sort of views as they've crept up going forward. This battle's still got like 300 views. Like, it's got no views.
Oh man, yeah, and it's a good one. Yeah, the intro music was a bit better on this one as well.
Yeah,
the start, so that's already a better battle.
Yeah. And I mean, Mags, as we open up, he's sort of urging the crowd to wake up, and it's kind of. I've got a lot of respect for anyone like Moss Gelton, Saurus, O'Shea. Like, it's a testament to human creativity to still be battling after like so many battles.
Yeah, and I really like Moss Gelton's style. He's really laid back. He almost doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like really tidy rhyming and cadence, but it's like a stoner. It's like watching a stoner rap. I don't know if he is. He probably is, to be honest.
Right. But
he's just got that vibe. And like Mags jokes about it in the third round or something about you look like you haven't blinked since about started. Yeah. Something like that, which is quite funny and quite accurate because I've been thinking it myself.
Yeah.
He says a lot of weird like out of the box shit. Like Moss Gelton, it's just like he said, eat 3 bags of buttholes and suck 2 dicks.
Yeah.
I don't really know, eat 3 bags of buttholes and like bag full of buttholes. Like itself, like that would take a lot to do.
That's a bag for life. That is. Yeah.
That's really that's like. Yeah, I don't even understand that, but I mean, suck 2 dicks is a bit easier.
But it's quite
2 people. Yeah,
it's just quite original imagery. I mean, it's quite disgusting imagery, but it's successful.
It's quite offensive, and I think that's what he was trying to do to offend his opponent. So there you go.
And I mean, like, someone called Mags, you've got to do name flips. Not bad in the first. Have an issue, give Mags the business.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's good.
And I agree, actually. There is a polishness to Moss Gelton that I quite respect. Like, he's clearly very comfortable in the ring. Yeah,
it's like someone who's battled so many times, doesn't think he's going to lose, is really, like, doesn't give a fuck, and it kind of works. My favourite bar of his was in the first round, man. It was such a, like... when you tell a joke and it could be applicable to anyone, but like you just say it in such a good way. It's like Luna C is probably the best of all time at that. But like Moss Gelton said, if you're wondering about that wife beater you found at the back of your white Beamer, just know your girl never really went to IKEA.
Yeah,
and that's so funny. I laughed. I was like, I was howling at that, man. That was funny.
Yeah. That was.
He said after that, like, either your bars aren't heavy or I'm a light sleeper, which I also really liked.
Yeah. Some quality. And Mags, interestingly, refers to Versetracker in his verse, and sort of apparently, he has a propensity for choking. I'm not too familiar. I definitely know that Mags was on Don't Flop USA card. I recognise his name, but he had quite a good bar actually talking about him choking. Johnny Storm feeling lucky to get this deep in my verse.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
That is quite funny.
I mean, it wasn't like the most direct round again, but it was kind of an average round. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not too much to write.
I think the only one I wasn't sure was Stephanie McMahon. You started with a name, but you're going to leave in a hearse, which I kind of get, but I don't know if it works because it's like, is he talking about Triple H's real name being Hunter Hearst Helmsley or something?
Right.
But his real name's not Hunter Hearst, it's like Paul something. But it's just like a leave in a hearse or end in a hearse, I didn't really get. And it's Hearst and hearse.
Right.
There's a few bars like that I was a little problematic for me. But like the way he rapped was cool. It was good.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad matchup. But again, I thought Mosh was good in the second. The whole 2 trains leaving Seattle, one at dusk, one at dawn. Which one do I run on your mom?
Again, like the same thing I said about the last bar. It's very like... It's just so childish and it's jokey and it's indirect, but it's just really well delivered and written.
Kind of very grind timey.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I like that. I like that. Yeah, it's quite efficient writing. 2 trains leave Seattle. One was at dusk, one was at dawn. They're both going at 100 miles per hour. He sets it up like he's asking really one of those like maths paper questions, and he goes, "So which one do I run on your mum?" The way he turns and says that line is so fucking funny, man. It's like It's again original delivery. It's like the thing I said earlier from the last battle with the what was the bar where he says doesn't say the words.
Oh yeah.
It's just that sort of thing again. I like it when like people do that and think of things outside the box.
Yeah,
and he said something as well. It was like, this pistol's a barrel of laughs and the joke's on you.
Yes, I like that
one. It's really tidy.
Yeah, I like that one. Mags tries to go out the box in a second when he gets that handbook out.
Yeah, I thought this was his weakest rounder.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing, to be honest, and he didn't seem to know either. Yeah,
like no, totally. It was just a bit.
Yeah.
So I like when people try things. I always give that respect for, thinking outside the box a bit. But it didn't really work for me. It didn't hit that hard.
No.
But then Moss Gelton's third, I thought he fell off from his first two a bit as well. I thought he won the first two comfortably, and then the third was kind of debatable. But it just wasn't as good or funny. It kind of became more of a multi-stream, which is what you're more used to seeing in modern battling, rather than the efficiency of his first two. That's kind of how I felt about it. But no, it was a really nice battle.
Yeah.
I thought Max as well, freestyle quite a bit in the third. He started, I think, quite a few of the first bars were all freestyle, I think. And it was good. It wasn't punchy or get reaction, but it was just quite, impressive. And then, like I said, mocking him for being a stoner, just having the funny kind of stuff. Everyone was sort of thinking about him, about his appearance and that. So that was always going to fly.
Yeah. I think the third probably the weakest for both, but not bad. I didn't mind Mosh's in third. I don't even recycle bars on Earth Day. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of it's quite silly, but it's not too bad. And again, not a terrible battle. I mean, obviously these battles wouldn't be, uploaded online. I say that there's a lot of shitty battles online, but you know what I mean. They're kind of the certain semblance of quality here. And we get to the next battle, which I'm kind of glad is on this for to discuss. This is Apiola versus Rupert Common.
Except I'm the one who leads rebellion. Leave his skeleton beneath this residence. Leaves will settle in decomposition. Read my letters. I've seen better men deceased by my pen, and when they rise up, resurgence futile, I sever them again. Yes. I noticed your clothing selection and what you choose to dress in. Let's just say I'm not actually here only to battle rap. I'm actually stepping to his sweater selection. Yeah.
Check your retro glasses. You're not an activist when you react in retro. So stop acting like you're the champion of social reform because you buy organic produce from the grocery store.
Oh my god, this is an odd battle, isn't it?
It's very odd battle. This battle has 166 dislikes, has more dislikes than likes. The comments are savage in both of them. Were you aware of either of these guys before you watched?
No, I wasn't. But my first, as I will compare all the battles, the intro song. This one was Head Ice, so right. The Head Ice intro song, might be the best battle we watched. So.
I mean, Apiola, I'd seen his name on cards and stuff. I never think I'd actually seen him. Rupert Common, funnily enough, I was aware of him, never seen one of his battles. I remember Ogmios saying at the end of our episode that he was a big fan of him for his kind of outside-the-box nature.
Doesn't surprise me. Nothing about that sentence surprises me at all.
But, I mean, Rupert Common, it's weird, isn't it? Because, you yourself, Kraft, you extol some of that kind, the spoken word kind of element in your battling. Yeah. But he's very much more got the social justice warrior element too. Yeah,
it's funny. Maybe he's got really good battles out there, but this one I didn't. I know we'll get into it and what things were said in the rounds and stuff, but I didn't like it. I mean, was this a Jay-Z event, by the way? Because it's on the main channel, but the event was called Resurgence. It's definitely not one of the main events, and it wasn't organic with any of them in the hosting. But I think the only person I recognised was Ellipsis in the crowd. Yeah. But Rupert Common, just in his intro, you already get the impression of who he is. He's got that nice guy, slightly odd, gimmicky, and then Yola was sort of this pumped up, angry guy. So I was like, okay, I can see why they set this up. This could be interesting. But so it's a strange battle, man. I mean, Apiola goes straight on in him, character, break him down. It's awkward how you used, battles to preach political agendas. That one hurt me a little bit. Right. And then he said, no, it's all good. He said, he said some funny stuff as well. He was like, your favourite sex position is last. Yeah. That's quite funny. Made me chuckle. A bit silly, as you say. But he just kind of went full round of just character assassination, really. Yeah, and then Rupert Common kind of come in with the exact gimmick he'd been talking about. And it's kind of I really like the weird battlers, and I don't mind, I mean, Carter Deems is the best one. Right. No, won't be a better one ever, really, than Carter Deems. And I feel because Carter Deems exists, anything else is sort of a tribute act. But with Rupert Common, it's I like the social warrior sort of thing, and it's cool that there's that. Yeah. That happens in battles, right? But, Yola kind of nailed it. I was talking about, it being quite pretentious. And maybe that's just this one battle I've got that impression. I should probably check out more of his stuff. But this battle, it did come across as a bit corny. I like the fact he does he tries things and tries character breakdowns. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna stand up against your homophobia and about your misogyny, but it wasn't done in a very creative way. It was kind of just saying, these are the things you say and what you believe, rather than making punchlines out of it, which I always think if you're going to like break something down in that way, try to have some kind of cool punchlines or something the crowd can get with. So the first 2 rounds was just 2 people telling each other what they're like, and I don't know, I couldn't really get with it. It took me a while to get into the battle.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, Rupert, for those not aware, he kind of has this, Andy Kaufman-like vibe, kind of frayed hair. In his intro, he talks of coming from Irish immigrants and doing community work, and he throws like a t-shirt into the crowd. It's like, we're a long way from Pat Stay versus Calico, so it's very, 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 very different type of battle. Ape is more forward. He's very Dirtbag Dan-esque in his intro, just like, fuck this cunt, motherfucker. Sort of thing.
But it's like what Rupert Coleman's saying about him is right. It's just it's not delivered that well, and it is something that I politically agree with what you're saying. But I do feel like also battle rap is one of the uncensored, unfiltered genres that remains, and that everybody knows and understands what it is, like sort of like comedy. So there's only so far so many times you can say, and so many times you can make the same point of, oh yeah, you're saying this stuff that isn't socially progressive, because it is an insult-based art form. But even though I get his point, I just don't think it hit that hard.
No. I agree. Ape's verse is quite strong as well. I quite liked his. This is what happened when pre-cum makes it to the egg.
Right. Yeah. The disrespect, like you're talking about. Yeah.
And then Rupert he tries to be inventive here with the whole King of the Dot acronym stuff, which reminded me a little bit of Bobby Rex Ambi sort of thing.
But Bobby did it a bit better. Like, again, he said something like for the TD bit. I think he said like taekwondo, and I might be wrong about this, but I swear taekwondo is like one word.
Right.
And the D isn't really capitalized. I just feel like it's a bit lazy sometimes. Like it's got to be 4 individual words if you're going to make an acronym, or like the acrostic poems as used to be in the poetry.
Yeah.
It'd be like what's the word? Like diagonal. Sort of. Line of words.
Yeah, acrostic. Yeah.
And it's got to be every word an individual word. So taekwondo for TD wouldn't really work. I might be wrong. I swear that's one word though.
I think you're right. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is as well with angles, when you're attacking an opponent, the logic has to be watertight, or it's not going to work. And Rupert has such a mangled angle in the first, where he's going on that Ape has been like homophobic or whatever, but he's like, you did a Dorian Gray bar, and that was written by Oscar Wilde, and he went to. It's like, you know what I mean? The thread doesn't make any sense.
Right. That's what I kind of thought as well. And the first round from both was just a little awkward. And then when they both get into the second, it kind of comes to their own a bit more. So Ape Yola's got like, I prefer the angle with the breakdown of why he does battle rap, like having a middle class background, but doing it to be disobedient to his dad. That was kind of quite cool. But again, it's all breakdown and no punches, so it's not really my preferred style, I suppose.
Yeah.
And Rupert Common kind of comes in with a better approach. He's mocking his beard.
Yeah.
He does a weird thing though. He takes off his coat.
Yeah.
And like, my sweater is better than your sweater, and does a whole angle about his sweater. And then goes back onto the misogyny for ages again. And it's like, he's done that in the first round.
Yeah. I quite like studied Ape like Jane Goodall.
Okay, yeah.
That was quite hard. And
I like the name flips. So
yeah.
More of that stuff.
The physical stuff that he does as well in the second Rupert is quite good. Abe Lincoln, an Amish farmer on LinkedIn, and there's kind of there's glimmers.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he just needs to tidy up his angles a little bit. Yeah, because he can write. He's obviously got a good pen, and I can see why people would like him, and why I could like him in another battle, and why Ogimios likes him, like you said. Or yeah, it's cool to have a personality and a different approach, but I thought he got it a bit wrong in this battle, and Ape Yola really effectively countered it. To be honest, Ape Yola's third round, like, I'm really glad I watched this battle just for that, because that's one of the best rounds I've seen this year.
Wow.
Not like, again, it's not punchy, but it's that round is how you do breakdown. He did it. And I typed out a couple of them because I really liked them. Where he goes, you're like the straight guy in the gay scene who does it to stay chic. Funny how these progressive types preach tolerance to the mainstream, but they're the same geeks who see an opposing set of values and give a hate speech. That's so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I see, like, And to be honest, I could rant about this. I saw someone put on a Facebook status this week the phrase performative wokeness.
Oh,
which I really fuck with as a word. It's a funny, and like, there's no secret if you watch some of my battles or listen to like stuff we've talked about. Like, I don't think I'll go overboard with it, but I care about sort of the things Rupert Common's saying, I guess. And I'm quite left politically, but I don't like the way a lot of left-wing people propose their arguments, and sometimes there's not a lot of room for discussion, and sometimes it's a shutdown rather than yo, let's discuss this and change. Because I think a lot of people on the other side of the debate, and when we're talking about elections and stuff, and you know, the right always seeming to edge it these days by a little bit, I think there's a lot of people on the other side of the debates who are very like malleable, and if you chatted to them, I've spoken to people who've been like, oh yeah, like I agree with that, and we've both like convinced each other little things, but then they've gone and changed their mind of who they're gonna vote for or whatever. And I feel like everything that Apiola just said hit in that round. It was like so perfect to why the shit that Rupert Common's doing in that battle doesn't work. Because it's attacking, it's making a positive idealistic message in a condescending, aggressive way. So that whole shit about opposing set of values but give a hate speech, it's so perfect, especially like the Twitter culture of attacking, and like a lot of bullies even on either side of debates. And he said also, you're not an activist when you react in retro. Again, that's so fire. And the other one I'd written down was stop acting like the champion of social reform just because you buy organic produce from the grocery store. I'm actually practicing the values you're supposed to be for. I'm serving handcrafted artisanal beatings. This ass whipping was locally sourced.
Yeah, love that.
And that just got a great reaction. And I just thought he brought the argument full circle, because he did the whole breakdown, which I thought was effective. As someone who fucks with Rupert Common in terms of what he says and what he does, but not maybe the way he delivered it in this battle, the way Apiola addressed that, but then to bring it full circle at the end and do a really funny punchline of 4-bar, that's why it's one of my favourite rounds I've seen this year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that analysis actually, and I agree with the line, especially the ass whooping locally sourced, that whole section that ends of it. It is really well put together, and if you watch the first 2 rounds of this battle, it's a little haphazard, but they do hit their groove, and I think the battle's maybe unfairly hated on. Like, there's things wrong with it, but it's not unentertaining or unprovocative.
It's just unconventional, I think, for a King of the Dot main channel battle at the moment. So maybe that's something I would have chucked on the GZ. And then gone, this was all right, but they can do a little better with maybe another good round each, and then go on a main channel. Maybe how I'd have looked at it. Maybe that's just more to do with the quality control filter of people going, yo, King of the Dot uploading a battle every week. Last week was, you know, past Nestle or whatever, and then this one is this. It isn't as good as some other battles. And that sometimes people set their filter quite high, and then will dislike something because it's not as good as something else, not to say that it was a terrible battle. So maybe that's why it got all those dislikes. Because King of the Dot are killing it like this year with their uploads. And the past year or two, they've been killing it.
No, they've been in, you know, definitely fifth gear. And if anyone ever asks you, dear listeners, this trivia question, what do Rupert Common and Harry Baker have in common? They both battled Lex D.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, there you go. And I should say as well, in the rap, like completely in its, you know, infantile stage at the moment, Battle Rap Quiz Night in London, it's being worked on. So just keep your ear to the ground.
Do it.
Battle Rap Resume going to be involved deeply with this, so, you know, maybe we'll get something. I think, you know, we could have, like, who tried out against who, or who finished a flip, or, you know what I mean? It would all be, you know, that sort of stuff, but...
Yeah, man, there'd be people who'd be good at that, though. It'd be interesting to see, like...
Yeah. I think exactly. Yeah, there is some real, like, doing this podcast, I've met some people who really, really know their stuff. And yeah, I mean, Rupert in his third talks about the appropriation that Apiola does. Apparently in Apiola's music, it's all about bubble butts and street violence, which is kind of hard to imagine, but, you know, there you go. And do you remember the woman at the front who's going crazy at the end? Like, she's like going, yeah.
Oh yeah, she's fully like hype man for Rupert Common. I noticed that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
funny little things happen, man, in battles.
I might try and get Rupert on the show. Actually, I think that'd be an interesting episode. Yeah, it'd be
good to see his journey into battle rap, because it's so different to what other people are doing. And like I said, I will actually check more of his stuff out. Like maybe I sounded like I was being quite harsh on him in this podcast, but it's mainly because I don't think he delivered what he was trying to do, and that's what I look for in battles. It's almost. Some people talk about like style clashes sometimes, and you can't judge them. I think you can judge a style clash. You can judge it on who delivered what they were trying to do better and did what they do better. So, yeah, I just feel they were both very different, and I maybe didn't like certain things about how they approached it, but I think Apiola he just delivered it a bit better. What he was trying to do.
So we get to our final battle. This is the battle that people maybe you spent the last 40 minutes so who the fuck are these people? We're getting to people you might be aware of now. This is a massive URL clash from Gnome 7. Mike P versus New Jersey Twerk.
I said I took a chance being Ryu versus Tink, and y'all fuck with it, so can I try it on the main stage? Cool, but it's on some other shit. This time, I'm Vegeta. I brought a savage back, because I can't believe that you think this is a match. I let a galley clap on for the... But don't do it again. Hold up. I said Ruger's pop. I arrow at you. Give you no choice but to link up. Like Sharon Shackles, Big Bird. Big Bird. The kick back on a long nose could pterodactyl. I stick it...
Kraft, either of these guys were you familiar with, or...
Yeah, I've seen Mike P maybe once or twice. I think Daylight, I want to say, someone else.
Yeah.
New Jersey Talk, Newcomer. I've been watching more URL this year than I normally do. But New Jersey Talks, like, is it Twerk or Twerk? I don't know.
It's Twerk. It is Twerk.
Twerk. Okay, New Jersey Twerk. Yeah, he's been making waves, and yeah, big performer. So I looked at the thumbnail. I recognized them both. I thought Mike P was most prob,
right?
But then I thought most prob's probably not better than URL, so it must be Mike P.
He used to, but yeah, ever since
they look very similar, man, on the thumbnail. I really thought it was most prob.
Yeah. I actually thought Heretic was Rupert Common, so I mean, yeah, that sort of element there. But
okay,
on the thumbnail, if you look at it, Heretic, you'll see what I mean. But this was a huge battle. I mean, this was a surprise battle that was announced on the day, actually.
Right, I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah, from both these guys coming through. I think it was the first battle of the day, and you know. A good clash. Like, the problem with it was, like, certain lines and elements I could respect, but the majority of it, I've got to say, I found kind of bland.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'd say, no disrespect, because there's some really, really good URL battlers, and I like what they do.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But the crowd, for me, is problematic in URL.
Oh, yeah.
The reason being, they have a tendency to react to a reference point rather than a good bar. So it's a reference to something they understand and can relate to straight away. So they said a bar, I've got the something like this film or this player or this scene in a TV show. And it's not that good a bar, but it triggers like a reference point that everyone knows. People just react massively. And it really frustrates me because they're not waiting for good bars to react to. And the battles stop-start constantly. It gets boring. I often turn them off because I just can't be asked to fast forward through reactions. And also, yeah, the fact they're so long, the round lengths are too long in URL battles. And the problem is there's a lot of filler. So there's some fucking amazing punchlines even in this battle, but the fact there's so much filler, if they were given 2-minute time limits, that wouldn't happen. People would just say their best bars.
Yeah.
And like those are my problems with URL and how the events are delivered, rather than a problem with the battlers and what's going on, because I do really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and the crowd need to calm down. I know it's Gnome and it's the first battle and it's exciting, but it's just, you know, what he says is kind of like get out, and everyone's going mad. There's not even a punch there. It's just mentioning
exactly
a movie. It's like calm down.
And with these battles being between 40 minutes and stretching to like an hour 20 sometimes, like the crowd on that day watching 6 battles, fucking hell.
I know.
I'm fair play that they're still that hype through. To be fair, like I would have left the building after 2 battles, man. Even though I wanted to see the main event, I'd be like, I can't. When I battle rap, I don't know about you, I battle rap events, I get tired of standing up, man.
Yeah.
My legs hurt at the end of the day. Maybe I'm not as fit as some other people.
No.
I mean, I I'm not like unfit. I did this summer, probably, you know, it's summer, so you got an excuse in the summer. But I play my football and all that. But my God, I cannot stand for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And my back hurts as well, man. You'll often see me outside just sitting down.
Yeah.
Like
old man craft.
That's it, mate. Like giving the legs, like recharging the batteries and then getting back for the battles. Because fucking hell, these are standing up for like 8 hours and consistently reacting. Like, fair play, man. They're troopers.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, Mike's first isn't bad. There's a few things here. Of course, you get the twerk punches, barely popping, lazy twerk. The whole like dabbing that ass dab of ranch. Why is that a good bar? I don't understand why people are going mad.
You delivered it pretty well, and that's just something I'm missing there. Which again, like I said at the start of this podcast in the disclaimer, I don't get a lot of these bars, but sometimes seems like a simple word association delivered really well. And it kind of gasses the crowd up. So
yeah, and I mean, there's references here that I do get. The year 8 inside me, Kraft, was very excited to hear a Yu-Gi-Oh bar. Exodia piecing bodies on the card.
I never watched Yu-Gi-Oh. I watched a bit of Pokemon back in the day, but not Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, probably a good bar, man.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't bad. There was a Dragon Ball Z bar. I don't watch Dragon Ball Z. Do you watch?
You neither, man. Nah, this is another one of the things that everyone apart from me seems to be into. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z.
No.
If the punchline says Dragon Ball Z, otherwise I won't know that it's about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you mentioned Vegeta, who I know is a character in it, but I was a bit like, you know, is. And then, you know, you got to flip kind of Twerk's. One of Twerk's main slogans is, you know, clap you in a coma sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can't clap me in a coma when, you know, put you in one. It's. For me, ultimately, you know, this isn't like a shock soul where I'm going to sit with my paper and pad and be like, oh, this bar. It's just the whole adventure of performance, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And there's a great skill, which I'm in awe of because it's not something I felt I'd be able to do on that stage, of crowd control, of tone shifts, how to most effectively deliver your punchline. Is it something you're gonna scream in their face, turn to the crowd? There's a lot of little intricacies that are really rehearsed and really like practiced that I respect. Like people going to that stage being, this is how I'm gonna control the crowd. Someone like Hitman Holler, excellent at that, man. He must properly practice his shit the way he does it. And yeah, it's a really cool skill. First and foremost, I'm a fan of punchlines in battle rap. I like punchlines, and you see amazing punchlines on URL. But yeah, in between that, for me, it's just a lot of filler. And yeah, bars that are well performed, and maybe that makes it a good bar, but I just don't have the same appreciation of it when they're spitting a really good punchline.
One of the things that I like about Twerk in a lot of his battles is his vocabulary. He'll punch around certain words that you don't hear often in battles. So here we have the word dactyl, Kraft, and I know as a fellow fan of poetry, you're aware of this. You know, it's a metrical foot. Famously,
I didn't even clock that you said that. To be fair,
yeah. It says pterodactyl. So I think most literature students are taught that like the Iliad is written in dactylic hexameters.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, it's kind of like iambic pentameter for anyone scratching their head listening. Like it's like the way, it's the metrical, the stress of the syllables, d-dum, d-dum, all that kind of crap. Like for him to say pterodactyl, first of all, it doesn't really make sense. Like the long-nosed bird, so he's doing like.
I think that's why I didn't get it. Yeah, it didn't make sense.
He's doing like a pterodactyl bar, but it's like the alternative of that punch. I'm tearing a metrical foot. I admire it from where he's going, but if you think about it, it's nonsense.
It is, and this is the skill there, because he can say something whack, but his delivery. But he might be top 3 for delivery in battle rap right now.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's an argument there because. What he's good at is sort of taking like turns of phrase and idioms and making them into punchlines, which is in general in battle rap like a really effective thing, goes incredibly well. But when people do that with sort of the expected angles, like how I'm going to shoot you sort of thing, to the whole, he did a nice scheme. I can't remember the rhyme scheme, but a really nice rhyme scheme. And then just then the bullets will pick you apart. They criticize. And that was just, I really like that.
Yeah,
it's very simple, but it's taking like an idiom or a figure of speech and just twisting it. And it's sort of to his own detriment as well, because he does a lot of them that aren't good.
Yeah.
And that's sort of his whole style is that. So that, especially in this battle, a lot of it died. but some of it, like those ones, were brilliant.
Yeah.
But his delivery is great. The only thing I might say is sometimes his pronunciation is slightly sloppy. So, like, where he says, well, and he didn't quite catch what he was saying, but then that's the punchline, and it'd be even more accessible than it already is. He sort of added a bit of clarity. But no, his presence, delivery, I mean, he's got. I was talking to Rowan about this maybe over a month ago at the late Pro Fools event. After that, and we were sort of talking about the 2 cheat codes of battle rap that no one thinks about. It's not even something you'd consider that much, but it's the difference between sometimes a guy with hundreds of thousands of views and someone with hundreds of views. The 2 cheat codes are height and a low pitch voice. It's very simple, but he has those 2 things as well. And if you look at the way he moves and talks, it's actually really camp.
Right?
Like New Jersey twerk. If you look like his movements, his hands, like just it is very. And if he didn't have those elements, he'd be taken less seriously. And that's not to take away from what he's saying and how good a lot of his bars are and how good he is at performing. But it's just an interesting thing to consider about big battlers who are doing well and taking off out of nowhere. And you talk about Jonai has one of the cheat codes, which is the lower voice. Yeah. Like, he took off really quickly. And I'm almost like, I always think if Sharon and Pat Stay swap bodies, like really, if you think about it, Pat Stay would be absolute nobody. He's not that good, mate. But Sharon, one of the best punchers we've ever seen in battle rap. No doubt about it. He's got pretty much everything. But he's a bit skinny, you know, a bit weedy. He's got a very high pitched voice. If he had Pat Stay's body and voice, nobody would say he's not the best in the world. It's incredible. When I might be wrong, like comment. I'm wrong about this if anyone disagrees, but they are cheat codes, and it's got them things.
That is the Freaky Friday sequel that has to be made. Pat and Sharon.
Oh, mate, that would be, imagine that, and then they have to go back to battle each other.
They have to battle each other.
Rematch the battle match with the same bars, and like Sharon just absolutely bodies him.
Oh man!
And they say the exact same material.
And just to go back what you're saying about that pick you apart, criticize bar, the idiomness of modern punching, I do love it as well. You see it. Tony does it a hell of a lot. Chess.
Shuffle T, someone does that a lot as well.
Shuffle does it a lot.
He's really good at it.
Yeah. I remember chess. What was it? Like bullets will hit you in the bullets like intuition. You'll feel it in your gut. Like just stuff like that, just really kind of simple.
Those, you know what? Those, I'm not someone who's like, oh, gun bars are played out. People do too many gun bars. I think they're sick. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like a whole battle, but those ones when it is like an everyday life situation, figure of speech, and someone incorporates that. Like one of my favorite ones ever is, I don't know if I said this to you before, but K-Shine. I can't remember who he battled. It was a 1-rounder on Don't Flop at about the time DNA and K-Shine's 2-on-2s were like crazy popping.
Okay, yeah.
And he did this. It was a nice little scheme, and then he just pointed his arm out and went, "Scope, it go a long way like courtesy." Bro, that's so nice. So simple. But the way he delivered it and said it.
Yeah.
Just a long way like courtesy. It's just like really nice, man. Really nice. Yeah, I like that.
That's clean. That's very clean. Yeah, really, really nice. And the thing about Twerk as well, like you were saying, he's a very tall guy. He's a very broad guy, and like he just looks down on you. He goes round Mike at all angles. Like he's very intimidating. And I get what you're saying about the camp and florid, and like he's quite a unique force on the stage.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think he's got everything. I think he ticks every box. He just needs to get the filler out of his system and say certain bars with a little more clarity, and he'll be unstoppable. How does he not get a sore throat as well? Same with Jonai. Like in your third round, like if I'd been doing that with I would be, my voice would be on, mate.
And I mean, Mike's second, I haven't really got many notes on it. I thought it was a bit bland.
Yeah, it was. Is that the one where he did an impression of him? I like the impression he did.
Actually, that was good. Yeah, him clowning on sort of the nature of his bars and stuff. But it was, most of it was just kind of like, you mentioned Av stealing bars, and, you know, he kind of adapts himself slightly to it. But I thought Twerk probably took the second, whereas Mike maybe took the first.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then the third, Mike as well. I think Mike won it quite clearly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I do think he had a good battle, like a solid performance. I thought my favourite part was probably... I mean, he did some nice stuff on twerk as well. I did like, I'm going to leave twerk in every part of the room, like Jamaican parties.
Yeah.
That was quite funny.
That was funny.
But I mean, mocking his name, I mean, it was just ineffable. His name is New Jersey Twerk. It was like, if you don't mock the name, you shouldn't be a battler.
Yeah.
He saved it for like the start of his third round or something. And he said, you know how hard it was to get my friends here with a straight face, asking them if they want to see me and some guy twerk on the main stage.
Yeah.
It's really, and I don't know, he just did a nice angle about why did you pick that name.
Yeah. And
which again is so like, it's so something that's been done but has always been effective. It's like going beyond the battle, taken outside of the context of the battle. Like, actually, before you got here for the battle or became a battler, why did you pick this name? It's like another level of clowning someone's decisions. And you can see like Twerk's face as he says it, and it's just quite... Yeah. It's a good vibe for the battle. I think the people behind each of them were reacting to other people's bars. I like it when that happens.
Yeah.
And it's not too serious and...
Yeah.
And all that, so... It was a good battle. I enjoyed it. I would have... If I wasn't doing it for this podcast, I probably, after a couple of rounds, would have switched it off. Like I often do after URL battles, I watch 1 or 2 rounds, and I kind of figure out who's winning and what the next hour is going to be. So I just don't watch it.
I agree, though. There's no favoritism shown. And you get the idioms as well. Not as successful in the second twerk. The blood trickled down. That's Reaganomics.
Right.
I think that's okay. It doesn't really kind of have a double meaning there.
Yeah, there's not really something to make a punchline out of.
No.
Sometimes after that. I sometimes feel like people think of a piece of wordplay and that could work in 2 ways, but it doesn't. And you think about it for long. And I've done this. I've thought of something and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make something out of this. And you just realise it doesn't, nothing's going to happen with it. And sometimes you've just got to accept that. When you're battling, you're like, no, I wanted that to work, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. No,
but then sometimes people will just say it, and like you say, it's not actually double meaning. It's just a very straightforward one-way thing. It's not really entendre. But you can deliver it like it is, and maybe that's part of the skill.
Yeah, and I mean, when this battle came out, a lot of the kind of heat around it, I saw Mike P getting tons of retweets of a clip that he did of his third round bar, the butterfly into your cocoon, I can reverse life.
Right.
What did you think of that bar?
Say again, but I remember him saying it. Butterfly.
So like a butterfly knife into your head, I can reverse. Yeah. Butterfly cocoon. I like the evolutionary imagery. I just kind of, you know.
Okay, I see the entendre. Yeah.
It's not incredible, but I think Mike definitely.
I haven't quite worked it out in my head, but I can see. Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. But you know, he's spazzing, as people want to say, really, in the third. I think Mike's, you know, both of these guys, to be fair, it's very cool that they're very new and they're on the main stage and they're doing pretty well. Like, they're not cowed by it. Yeah,
and definitely. I'm not sure how new Mike P is.
He's fairly new. He started off on iBattle. He had and I think he was a PG last. I remember driving home to Birmingham on Christmas Eve, listening to one of his battles that just came out. So I think he's been around about a year or so. He battled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he battled Haitian.
I was aware of the Daylight one, and I felt maybe that was more recent than I thought it was. That I watched that. It felt like a while ago. I'm just looking him up now, actually, on Versetracker. So he's only got 14 battles. Yeah. So yeah, you can't have that many. The first one, ENJ Battlegrounds.
Right. He's on iBattle, wasn't he, a bit as well, I think?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the date of it. I don't think it actually says the date here. But okay, it's 14 battles. Yeah, no, I agree. That's quite new. That's quite new.
So I mean, you know, regardless, you know, they're both doing well. I think Twerk as well, someone that kind of, you know, came around, sort of thing. And I mean, Mike kind of wins in the end. And I mean, Twerk, it's kind of a shame because he does like a jersey, so he kind of ends his verse, and then everyone wants him to get it back, and then he can't get it back, which is hard.
Yeah. But yeah, just a little choke at the end from Jersey. But apart from that, clean performance from both of them. Yeah, like I say, in the third round, Mike P just looked quite comfortable. When you know you're winning a battle, it's a quite a liberating feeling, and just the any nerves or doubt that were possibly there just kind of go. And you can see it in his face. He's like thanking the crowd in the end, like, "Oh, you lot are cool, love you," sort of thing.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good to see, definitely. You know, I mean, you want to see them cheered rather than booed, of course. So, but yeah. So that is the first edition of It Came from Versetracker. Just to recap the battles, we did KD versus Cut Eastwood from Guerrilla Warfare. We did Mags versus Moss Shelton from The Art of War. Apiola versus Rupert Common from King of the Dart, and Mike P versus New Jersey Twerk from URL. We're going to keep doing this in the future. I'm going to try and get like battlers on, just battlers that I've had on in the past, obviously like yourself, Craft. Like, I'd like to get Soul on and Ogmios and just, you know what I mean? Just get big names on to go through random battles.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool, man. It's good, and it just gives a bit of. I mean, like quite a lot of people listen to your podcast now, and it's doing well, and it just gives shine to a couple battlers, who might not have got it. Or got any kind of critical analysis of their battle, which it might have deserved. Because not a lot of people watched it. So that's a cool idea, definitely. And just put in the context of what's out there.
Exactly.
For a lot of listeners, probably to this podcast as well, like me, probably mainly watch Don't Flop and King of the Dot. So it's it's a nice little opportunity to expand your view of battle rap. No, it's a good little series, and I enjoy doing it. I forgot about fucking watching them, so I did watch them all today, which was interesting. You know, I used to watch about 1 or 2 a week these days, so 4 in the morning is alright, but you know, bit of energy drink is doable.
Yeah, of course, man, of course. And I mean, none of these battles I would say don't watch. Like, I think they're all kind of enjoyable on a certain paradigm. And I think we were saying before as well, we should probably do something else together soon. Maybe top 5 Tony D rounds we could do.
Yeah, because we did the Soul ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tony D's on that same level of there's 15, 20 you can narrow it down to, then pick like 5. That'd be fun. I'd be down for that.
That
wouldn't take too much effort from me because I know his out rounds. I know like his battles, so I could be that one. Yeah.
I think
cool, man.
Quite quickly, but I guess finally, Craft, as always, how do people get at you? Your social media, you know, that sort of stuff.
My social media is on Twitter. It's at craft_D. And then, like, on other social media, I don't use Instagram, but I've got most of the others, which is just a dash, like my name is on the YouTube video. So CRAFT-D. Twitter's an underscore. Always available to be contacted.
Awesome, man. Well, it's also always a pleasure to have you on the show. I want to urge people to go back, check out our original battlerapresume episode all the way back, the second one we ever did, and we've had lots and lots of chats and previews as well since then. So check out all the content there. But Craft, has always been a pleasure, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, big up, man.